Sup guys, here today to do Terra Formars episode 1 review. Now, this is my first episode review of Terra Formars. I was just going on this torrent site where I normally download my anime from, and I saw Terra Formars, and I've heard somewhat good things about it, so I decided that this is a perfect chance to watch this series and review it. So hey, watched it and now I'm doing my review. So this first episode of Terra Formars, right, basically get an introduction of, well, somewhat of a backstory. Yeah, we basically get an introduction of what appears to be the main character, who is Akari, and he was in this fighting this bear for prize money so that he can get an organ transplant for his childhood friend Yuri, who was suffering from, it's revealed to be a disease that came from Mars, and she was going to live in the first place. So in somewhat of a sense, he probably thought that it was all in vain. But these two special operatives, from the beginning of this episode we saw them talking, and their focus was on Akari. And for a human to face a bear, there's no doubt about it, the bear is going to win, and that's what it seemed like was happening. But apparently, after the bear began feasting on Akari's flesh, or what appeared to be like it was feasting on Akari's flesh, because in this episode there was major censorship. Like you could hardly see what was going on in the graphic scenes. Like you could barely make out what really was happening. So it seems to be feasting on Akari's flesh, and then all of a sudden we see Akari transform and he looked more monster like, and at that point Akari just basically tore the monster apart, literally tore the bear apart, I should say, literally. And the guys who were watching this stuff were the billionaires, and these type of games go back all the way from into the ancient Roman days when they had the Colosseum. Gladiators would fight each other to the death. So it's that sort of thing where people were paying big money and people were being entertained watching humans fight to the death, or up to this point where Akari got to the last opponent. It was supposed to be a human, but apparently it's this bear. So they set this up in such a way that he wasn't supposed to win in the first place, but apparently he won. And when he won, the guy told him that some people bought the girl from him, and then it suddenly revealed to him that his friend Yui, who got this disease, died. But that's where things start to get interesting. He was told that the disease that his friend had, Yuri, it's not a disease that came from Earth, it came from Mars. And they asked him to join their team, which is UNASA, which is basically an organization that explores Mars, the surface of Mars. And basically they explained to him that for them to conquer this disease and save the human species from extinction, they will need to go to Mars. And oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. They will need to go to Mars and basically harvest the bacteria, whatever's causing this disease, to come up with an antidote. That's the only way that they can do it. And so they are going around looking for members, and apparently Akari is one of them, because he doesn't appear to be 100% human. That's clearly obvious. He has some genetics that came from his parents that makes him transform into this monster, and it turns out to be his advantage. So that's the lowdown about him. It's apparently after that they underwent an operation that had him out for a week, and in this operation they basically did the surgery to boost up the natural body strength, give them some super abilities, I'm guessing, or to boost up their resistance, make them more tougher, more resilient of sorts. And we get introduced to four new characters, four new characters, two girls and two guys. And one of the girls, she was looking hot with big boobs, and the guys, they instantly were like trying to hit on her. but then they found out that she's super negative, so that kind of turned them off. But she then became friends with the other girl who was there, and seems to me like these guys will probably survive the operation and they will be a permanent part of the series. I'm just saying that seems to be the case. So these guys were all waiting out in the area, and then we get the lowdown upon about what really this whole mission is about. Apparently, back in the 21st century, right, when humanity tried to repopulate, well, try to make Mars more livable, or try to induce more livable condition on Mars for humans, they sent over two organisms, algae, a special type of algae, and an insect with good resilience of being alive, which is cockroaches. But apparently between that time frame up to the current time frame, because this is in the year 2619, right? This is like what, 600 years in the future, more than that. This is crazy, crazy way out there in the future. So between that time, these cockroaches, they mutated and they become what they call Terra Formars, right? Which is basically the cockroach species on the planet that tries to wipe out humans, that just kills them, apparently, by, according to them, for no reason. According to what Michelle is saying, they kill humans for no reason. And humanity is now in this war with these cockroaches, or evolved cockroaches, for the survival of their species, right? So that's the basic premise of the story. And the first episode, it introduces us to Akari and his past with Yuri, and shows off some of the other main characters. But so far I thought it was a pretty good chapter of Terra Formars. There are a lot of questions in my mind. I would definitely like to see where all of this goes. I've always heard about this series, so better try it out for yourself. So that's why I decided to check out this anime. So that's it, that's my review. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Sayonara.